So here's the funny part. Well, it's not funny. We talked for 17 minutes of content.
It was good.
And
it was good content too. Like
oh my God,
my Scheffler takes were really good. Yeah.
Hang on. Let me put this in the Discord. Has someone said this in the Discord yet?
Well, people were talking in the chat like, I don't think this is live. So you got to pay attention to the chat.
Okay, so here's what happened. And this is fucked up. Okay, so I said this is a Larry David episode when we went live, and we were talking for 18 minutes. Had good bits, had good rapport. You had to fix a lamp in your background. I said, I bet you won't get back to your seat before we go live. So we hit the intro. I swore I hit live. We weren't live. At the same time, we are live now. At the same time, I'm fixing this mouse batteries, and it's got me all flummoxed. That's why we're sponsored by Duracell. Actually, generic batteries are better. And here we are. So apologies, and thank God you saw that, because you're like, I don't think we're live.
So what happened to those 17 minutes? Are we
fucking gone? We were sitting here talking to each other like assholes.
That's just in the RPS vault forever. I'll never.
There's no vault. It's just between you and me. There's not even recording. And to the Willie Z comment, what I was saying before we went actually live was that Luke Hollisher, who we love at RPS, you could set your watch to this guy. He does not follow sports. When I mean that by that, he doesn't even know any players. So he put Will Z up. We're going to change that cover. We'll get this straight. Can you guys summarize the 17 minutes? Yes. Well, we can do take two now.
We'll do take two, which is always better.
And we'll go a little more quickly on take two. But what we're going to say is from the players last week, I mean, what it taught us was that there was something about Scottie Scheffler, and we're not saying that he is in the realm of Tiger. No one will ever be that. But if you want comps to something that has been a sure thing at the shortest odds, it is as close to Tiger as possible. Not saying he's Tiger, but when you get Scottie at 450, 650, goes +1, gets to +900, +1200 after the first hole. If you're part of the RPS Discord, which is the most active Discord, the best Discord, 30,000 messages, I swear to God, on Thursday morning. But we're all slamming these bets with Scottie and slamming the hedges with Wyndham because Scottie is a sure thing in terms of outcomes, I think, that there has ever been since a Tiger. He is playing, and you could say the stuff about Live Tour guys not being here. I get it. And it's fair and reasonable because I love Cam Smith and I love Brooks et al. But Scottie is would have beaten all of them. He has made, in this season, in the year of 2024, the year of Andy Lack, one double bogey.
Mm-hmm.
One. Mm-hmm. So that's where we started. Sponsored by Duracell. Because these are scam mouses from Apple. Scams.
Yeah, I think just to add a little, put a bow on the Scheffler conversation, because it turns out we already did about 17 minutes on Scheffler that we're never going to be able to find ever again.
But also 7 minutes on Andy calling me old. We won't go back there.
That's true. I did call you old a couple times as well. I think what makes Scheffler interesting for our purposes in daily fantasy is the floor has gotten so comically high. Like, we have seen runs of dominate. Even somebody like Jon Rahm won 3 times last year on the PGA Tour and then won the Masters. And even in those 3 wins, Rahm would like mix in a T47. He really struggled at the API. He really struggled at the Players last year as well. The thing about Scheffler is it seems like the floor has gotten to such comical levels that, you know, even in a week where he's clearly hurt, right? He has a neck injury. Yeah. He still is second in the field in tee to green, and he's playing at an injury disadvantage, similar to what Tiger has done many times, right? Where even at an injury disadvantage, it seems like the gap has still gotten so great. So I'm fascinated to see what Scheffler looks like going forward. Like, do you think over under 40, 50% at the Masters? I mean, that's why I was asking
Oh
you.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
first, there wasn't really DFS when Tiger was peak Tiger, right? And even if you think the Tiger Scottie comparisons are premature, which I do, this is certainly the closest that we've come to knowing how to properly price and accurately predict ownership on a player. That is the closest thing to a walking top 5 that we've seen on the PGA Tour in the golf DFS era, right? Like when would you say that golf DFS got big? 27, 17, 16?
16.
Yeah. So
17.
even that was like, if you look at peak Tiger had a couple peaks, but even by 2016, I mean, peak Tiger, we're talking like 2008 to 2012 was a peak Tiger run, 2000 to 2002, right? So,
I wasn't betting golf 20 years ago, but I was alive. I would assume that some tournaments he would go off negative odds. I mean, minus 200s. I don't see that with Scottie Scheffler necessarily. Well, unless he plays like the Sanderson, which he won't. But I mean, you have right now Scottie down to plus 450 at the Masters, right? And I think that'll come. I think that'll come down even more,
right? Because I don't know if we'll see him again before the Masters, right? Does he play? Does he play Houston next week? Maybe.
I don't know. That's a good question. If frankly, I would say if I had to guess, I'd say no. So Rory's going to have to smash in San Antonio. And win to get people re-energized by him. You don't see these live guys much. Wyndham Clark will be popular.
Totally.
Rory will still be some Jim Nantz, storybook narrative around Rory. And if he does do well, if he does win a tournament prior, watch out. But Scottie's going to be owned and expensive. And what has he proven this season that he shouldn't be? Can you come back in like 30? It was
the turn down service.
Oh, turn down service.
You were saying, sorry.
I would say, okay, outside of Scottie last week, listen, you never want to see 20 under players, but this Florida swing, except for the API, which was extraordinarily difficult, except Scottie made a mockery of it. The weather's just been pristine, right? There wasn't a ton of wind. Honda didn't have a ton of wind, and the Honda's course was reconfigured a little bit. JM got the best players he could ask for, the leaderboard he got. But some of the players that were really impressive, I mean, Schauffele, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
I still think he's a good top 5 at the Masters. But guys like Sam Ryder continue to do well. Wyndham Clark, Doug Gim did well. He'll be popular this week.
Very.
Siwoo Kim, we talked about him taking ball
striking. We did love Siwoo. We loved the all-stars from the show that me and Big T did on Wednesday night were Siwoo, Connors, and Harmon.
Yeah, Matsuyama, Aubert continues, his first players continues to dominate there or on tour. So, I mean, carrying forward to this week, I like to say it's, Florida cars. Let me pull up my tweet because I've got to.
Wiley, in our first run through of this, Wiley talked for like 8 minutes straight on the Valspar.
Yeah, so because I love the Valspar the most, and the problem with
favorite event on tour,
favorite event on tour because I think it's the most difficult stop of the Florida swing. I think it's one of the more difficult stops on tour. You're going to, single digit winning score under par again. The nature of the course as a tree-lined parkland Florida course is that it's narrow. The greens are difficult. They're speedy. Paul Casey, before he retired, said they remind him of the slope and speed and difficulty to read of Augusta. Add par 5 scoring, Augusta. And, you get some really, really good golfers winning here. And you get some comps to Augusta. You get Spieth's winning. You get Charles winning. You get Retief's winning. You get Reed, Cantlay. Louis, Tiger's doing well. So
Paul Casey's been good at Augusta in his day. Shout out Saul.
Fuck yeah, absolutely, he has been. I mean, he's been first round leader guy. He's been, actually assumed that he might win, but the snake pit. It's the best pit on the Florida swing, right? It's better than the bear trap.
I think the snake pit's better than the bear trap. I would agree with you there. Yeah.
So it's going to be a good week. What do you say about this course, Andrew Lack?
Well, the first thing.
Wait, one more thing. The lowest average feet made of putts on the PGA Tour. Meaning what? No one hits bombs here.
Yeah. The greens are pretty firm. I mean, the one thing that I would add as well is that it's fairly weather dependent, right? So like under the right firm conditions, this is a top 5 toughest golf course on tour. We saw that last year in the Taylor Moore year. Taylor Moore won at 10 under par. It played as the 10th toughest golf course on tour. In the prior 2 years, the 2 years that Sam Burns won, and that's why I would tread a little bit lightly with the Sam Burns is like the biggest lock at Valspar of all time. The 2 years that Sam Burns won, the course played a lot easier, softer, less wind that it generally does. Like the 2 Sam Burns years, it played middle of the pack in terms of difficulty, and Sam Burns won at 17 under par. The prior 2 years to that, the years that Paul Casey won, it played as a top 5 course on the PGA Tour in terms of difficulty. So the question is, what are we going to see this year, right? Are we going to get more of the Sam Burns middle of the pack in terms of difficulty? Are we going to get a bit of a reversion to form with the Paul Casey years, right? If I had to guess, my default option, Wiley, at this point is just assuming that every single golf course on the PGA Tour in 2024 is going to play easier than we expect. That just seems to be the standard default option these days. It seems like there's been an active effort in terms of PGA Tour setup to get more birdies, right? But I looked at the wind. Yeah, I looked at the wind just before we went live. I'm actually going to be in the area. Flex, I guess. I mean, is going to Tampa a flex? Probably, if it's a golf trip.
Tampa's a flex. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm going to be in the area. One of my best friends, Jack, is getting married, and this is like our golf bachelor trip.
Flex 2 having a best friend. Thank you.
I have 0 friends.
I have
no friends.
I will go out to eat in some of the laptop by myself and talk to no one.
My only friend is the imaginary ghost behind Wiley and the ladder to success in Wiley's office.
Oh, and what's missing? The ladder to success.
There you go. So anyway, if I had to guess, I don't know if we're going to see the type of carnage that we saw the Paul Casey years.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be as easy as the Sam Burns year. I think you want to split the difference. And be sure to follow in the Discord. We'll be talking weather and updating my model based on weather conditions all week. But right now, if you're asking me, I think we'll get like 12, 13 under, just because I think the golf course will play a little bit softer. But you look at Friday, and Friday is, not like gale force winds, but in the 30s and 40s of wind conditions. Hi, Stewie. Good to have Stewie here. I love Stewie. Best friend Flex. I have a couple people that I would call best friends watching right now.
Ghost Jammed,
Natalie, Kyle, Sarah, Ghost Jammed. I would all put those people in the best friend category.
Ghost Jammed likes me better than you. That's just no doubt. Come on. Look at the Discord. Me and him. He was working a bit in the. By the way, join the Discord again. 30,000 messages on Thursday. The most active and fun Discord in the industry. No, it's
kind of like an Oppenheimer situation. A little bit of like, be careful. I don't know if you're going to get that reference because you don't.
Nope, it's a movie.
You don't watch movies, but it's kind of like a be careful what you create situation, because now the Discord it's actually so active to the point where it's a bit overwhelming. It's a bit overwhelming at times.
Well, so everyone's sort of like if it's a lot of dry humor, sarcastic. Tilting golf is hilarious because you say a lot of stuff because you're angry, but you don't really mean it. So Ghost Jam, because he was sweating Lucas Glover, started workshopping this bit where he would cheer on Lucas Glover like he was 11 years old and go get him, pal. I love you, man. You're going to do great. As if Lucas Glover could hear him from a Discord. It was a great bit. He didn't make the cut.
By the way, hey, I love Glover this week, so we're hanging on for one.
Oh, good. Good. Go get your best friend Ghost Jam to like him too, because that bit worked.
Okay, so should we talk about pricing? Myron Kid also says rain on Friday is gonna soften this course up over the weekend. Yeah, that's what I'm
Myron
like.
Kid. He's the man. He follows me on Twitter. I like Myron Kid.
Oh, we got Stewie 20 minutes from the course as well. Stewie, put in the chat what you're thinking weather-wise. I've heard you guys have gotten a super wet winter, but over the past 2 weeks at least, it's dried up a little bit. So you want to if you want to hit us with any
pop them out
turf condition takes, then you can
the
hit
carpet
us there.
conditions.
Yeah,
remove your Glover or remove my eyeballs. You can do both.
Yeah, wet this weekend from Stewie. So maybe that puts more credence into it's going to be a little bit easier. I ran my model. I've been in Mexico Flex, and I've just been slaving on my day job for the RPS guys, grinding out models while my brother and mom are like at the beach and doing regular vacation things. I'm just grinding Lucas Glover ball striking numbers in my hotel room. And I ran my model like 8 different times, and every time Lucas Glover he's not number 1 anymore after the Players. Xander is, but it took like Xander almost winning the Players to remove Lucas Glover from the number 1 spot in my model. So that probably says a lot about who I am as a person.
Pricing. Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk pricing. Xander up top.
Yeah.
Letdown spot or carries the momentum. Letdown spot for Xander.
Well,
emotional heartbreak.
I said the Discord. I mean, you look at Justin Thomas, and I had these stats in the Discord, but I'll sort of make them up now. But if you look at Justin Thomas, Xander, and Rory, if you exclude his international play, I mean, how many times have these guys won in 4 years? Justin Thomas, I think he last won the Players, won the PGA, and then it's been nothing since. Xander doesn't win that much at all. And then Rory the same way. I like Xander Schauffele. I mean, I think he's exceptionally talented. I would say that this week could be a comeback win for him if you think of par 5 scoring and great putters and maybe some Augusta comps. Xander's a good play. In the 9.6 range and up, Cam Young still 9.6. I think you're still overpricing Cameron Young. Who did I compare him to in the Discord? Someone will know, but Cameron Young was, Tommy Fleetwood 2.0. Taylor Montgomery week. Yes, we'll get to Taylor Montgomery week here in a second. But Justin Thomas scares me. Xander Schauffele will be extremely popular. Sam Burns, popular, but I like him probably the best out of those. Jordan Spieth. There's a lot of Jordan Spieth. I don't love him, but Brian Harman, he had some of the best stats tee to green last week. What was
Brian Harman gained 9 strokes on approach last week, which is the best approach performance of his career, by 3 strokes.
He is. Why is Mark Hubbard not here, by the way? That would have been a great play. But Brian Harman is at sort of this peak of his career right now. I mean, he's just, he was very close to winning last week. So, there's a lot to digest up there, and the ownership will shake it out. I do believe that probably Burns will come in the
highest owned, right? That's what I was going to ask you. Higher owned, Xander or Burns?
Probably Burns but the ex-cult was fed last week. You tossed a lot of raw meat to these guys. They'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it also has a lot to do with public perception on JT and Spieth being so low right now, right? So like I mentioned this in the Discord last night. Like I like Justin Thomas here. I thought that he was going to be a little bit better than 14-1. I'm not going to bet Justin Thomas to win outright. I most likely will be there in DFS. But a lot of people at this point are like, you're crazy for even considering JT at this point. And I think it's a fair take, because if you think about it, JT has bombed now. JT is now bombed as, high priced, high popularity chalk. He wasn't really chalk at the Players, but he was very popular bet at the Players. And he did the same thing at Riviera, right? He murdered people to the tune of like JT was 35% at some contest in Riviera and just absolutely murdered people. So what is the argument for playing JT at 10.4 right now?
How many times has JT won over the past 4 seasons? I think we chase these ghosts. We chase him with Spieth. We chase a few rounds that are good from Fleetwood. We want them to be good. I still chase Webb Simpson like it's a disease. At some point, we got to let these guys go a little bit. Justin Thomas's irons were still elite last week, right? I think he was best in the field for the amount he played.
Yep.
It's the problem off the tee that gets him in trouble.
And when
the putter, which when he was winning everything, when he was freewheeling and young and just coming off, out of college and a few stints at the Korn Ferry Tour, it's like Spieth, he couldn't lose anything. Now he's trying to chase it and get back to where he was before. And I don't know if you can get there when you got guys like Wyndham and Scottie Scheffler playing the way they are. So, it's just how long do you chase these guys for? Like Justin Thomas, he can't win every week.
Right.
You can't beat these guys.
Right. And I think that's what's tricky about it is
Hovland.
Don't get me started on him.
But Hovland is when Hovland is not absolutely stripe showing everything, he's a one-trick pony. And he's not good. I mean, it's not good. Sorry, interrupt.
Let me pose it to you this way.
Sure.
Who do you trust more right now? Spieth or Thomas? Thomas or Spieth? Whose game do you trust more right now on this specific golf course? Because they've both played great at Innisbrook. Spieth has won Innisbrook, finished third last year. JT has like 4 top 12 finishes at Innisbrook and 5 starts. He's been awesome here too. So who are you more likely to play right now between JT and Spieth?
That's a tough question. I think that, if you look at I just looked at stuff from last year for 2023 when Adam Schenk was a great play this week. He was top 20 last week. Schenk played last week. He was top 20 recently. Putting just shows out more here than you think. And I just feel like Spieth is going to make this turn towards the Masters, and I think it'll start here. Right? I felt it with Scheffler and the putter, and he can't putt into API. I felt that turn coming, and I think something about this place will make a turn for Spieth.
He's putted.
I enjoy playing Spieth. But what's that?
He's played great here in the past and putted great here too.
Yeah. So I think JT may need to make a caddy change.
Really? Shots fired at Bones. Yeah, I've been in the Rory needs to make a caddy change for a while, but I haven't really dug into the JT stuff. I think it is. You can really feel it with Scottie, right? Like the trust and decision making that Scottie has with Ted Scott, and I think I've done multiple podcasts on this point at this point, so apologies for repeating myself, but the advantage that Scottie has from a brain standpoint in terms of his discipline and his decision making, I don't think can be understated and is highly, highly underrated. Like, you just watch how Scheffler played that back nine, and it is smart shot after smart shot. It's middle of the green. Like, Scheffler could go at pins and maybe shoot 61, 62 the way he's playing, but he consistently makes decisions where he takes big numbers completely out of play.
Are you hiding someone in your bathroom because they're screaming? What's going on there? Did someone just die? I didn't want to mention it because I thought I heard someone scream.
Point being,
what's going on in Mexico?
Yeah, I'd need to dive into like the JT decision making stuff to make more of a judgment call on JT and Bones. Rory, I think, is a disaster from a decision making standpoint.
Well, the thing is that Jimmy Johnson was JT's caddy when he had all the success, and he was the senior guy who really took no shit, and I think he gave him this sort of, paternal kind of dad-like figure on the course who pushed him the right way. I think that Bones and Rory's caddy, his name escapes me.
Harry.
Diamond. I just think that they don't put enough heat on these two guys to make them focus a little more, in my judgment. Listen, this may surprise you. I've never been on the PGA Tour. I've never had a caddy. I'm just saying, from optically, I think Ted Scott gives that the right moments to Scottie Scheffler.
Totally agree.
Cartel's got Natalie. That's why you're there. What's in the bags back there? What's in the bags?
Okay, can we talk 9K range?
Yeah, let's do that. So I did 8.4 to 9.4.
Okay.
This little quick range.
So are we skipping right past, like, would you go back to Brian Harmon this week? Just real quick, can be rapid fire.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to him last week, but I will go. I could go to him this week. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think the guy squeezed is going to be Spieth. I think Cam Young too, because I think people are tired of him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't play him myself. And, to be honest with you, Burns had a incredible, was it Sunday or Saturday, where he shot like 8 under?
Saturday.
I was going to say there's going to be a reason you could just fade on Sam Burns because he's kind of burned us this time, but he played great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could make a case for all those guys except for Cam Young, and a little worried about Schauffele and his ability. I think that last week may have taken a lot out of him. I don't know. In the 9.4 down to 8.4 range, I think Gim is going to be the highest owned overall, not even in any range. I think that he's going to get.
I think so too, right? And it's like, after a certain point, you kind of got to put respect on Gim's name, right? Like, what do you do with Gim? I feel like I keep thinking that this is going to be the week that Gim falls off, and he just keeps producing. So
no, I mean, Keith was on him last week again, and if you look at Gim's par 5 scoring, it's incredible. He had a big time luck box shot last week, but he still played incredibly well. And I said in the Discord today, I said this week it's Gim week, and of course Ghost Jammed or someone put his glasses up, and he's like, "Well, everyone's saying that."
Yeah.
So if everyone's saying that on Twitter,
he's
going to get smoked. But I think people forget Keith Mitchell. A little disappointing last week. Nick Taylor, what's he done wrong?
Sure.
Only thing is now he's 9-1.
Yeah, 9-1 for Nick Taylor feels a bit egregious.
Might have to sail the ship for Finau, guys. I'm sorry, but not the same Tony.
Well, can we get a little State of the Union on our guy Sung Jae? I mean, I did not play him last week, but I feel like he showed some things at Sawgrass. He drove the ball really well at Sawgrass, which is something that you need to do at the Valspar. And I don't think that at 9.4, Sung Jae is going to be overly popular just because he hasn't been playing well enough.
Nope.
But he's finished 4th here in the past. He always plays well in Florida. You worry a little bit about the wind, as you've mentioned, but let me know if Yeah, let me know if you hear anything from Willie. I may hit him up to play some golf in Tampa.
He would love it. That's
yeah.
4,
See if he wants
5,
to play. Yeah, see if he wants to play Stream Song with us. Although we already have 4,
6.
but yeah,
7. You did a good run there. Stream Song, Willie Z, foursome. Can't play in my foursome because we only have 6.
Am I at 7.5?
Oh, you're so over.
I took a sail through.
Best friends, Tampa, private jets, killing people in your bedroom, whatever.
Cartels,
drugs, cocaine, special vacation without Natalie. I think the squeeze will be Cam Young, rightfully so, probably. Finau, Nick Taylor. That price may scare people off, but Minwoo Lee, people are done with this dude. 9K Minwoo Lee.
Yeah, you know that Tony would have had like a legitimate chance to go to win another milli at the Players if he had just subbed in Siwoo for Minwoo.
He didn't.
Yeah, he had Minwoo in his best lineup, and
does he not listen to these shows?
He was on a show with me where I was talking about Siwoo and continually hyping up Siwoo. So yeah, I mean, he had another great run at the Players though as well.
Yeah, great 3.333 too.
Not drinking tap water. This is the pure still water from the Resort Flex. Okay. So what's over under on Gim?
Formaldehyde.
What's over under on Gim? Like 18%? 18%. 18% at 8.4 is a lot. So what's the common build? Like Burns, Gim, how much does that leave you? Because you could have Gim be a second man in with Burns and you have 7.7 remaining, or you could play Burns with, let's say, Harmon, and that gives you 7K left. Like Burns, Harmon, Gim leaves you 7K left, especially with them going back down to the 5s again.
I think they made some mistakes lower that will be popular that allow you to do this. But the thing that will, I think Ghost Jam says 27.6. I think Gim is going to be over 20. The only thing that will vacuum some ownership from him is Aaron Rai, and you.
I heard that too. I don't know what that is.
This is actually an episode of Dateline, Andy, and we need to ask some questions.
Yeah, I know. MBS is currently in the Bahamas right now with Tiger, so he has an alibi. But it sounds like somebody's dismembering a live body right now in my bathroom.
If you had, as a bit, someone walk by from behind with a bone saw in their hand. It'd be great.
Too bad our promo code at Home Depot's no longer live.
Yeah, you get a free bone saw.
We screwed the pooch on that sponsorship. Yeah, they don't want any of our people are rolling into Home Depots all across the country saying, "I heard Andy 15 on this bone saw work. Give me my fucking chainsaw."
I hear they work great if you want to kill people with a cartel in Mexico, and then fly to Tampa. So, no, I think that Aaron Rai will steal a little ownership from Gim. Keegan fans, I mean, that range right there is going to get smoked. Keegan, Rai, and Gim. Even some Hostler, because people can't quit that guy. I love Bez.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Yeah, me too. We both agree on Bez. Bez gains over 7 strokes on approach last week at the Players Championship. He had another top 15.
So you have to leave for a second. So I have to go to the bathroom.
Lack going Breaking Bad. I love that Stewie. Stewie's the best. So yeah, I would say there are plentiful pivots off of Gim. Also Taylor Moore, 7.8. Like you start going down.
That's a mistake. That is a mistake.
Yeah. Red state election year for Taylor Moore.
Yep. Putnam flop lag. Did okay, made the cut, did enough, but Moore and Putnam sub 8 to me with Tmont, high Tmont, low Tmont.
Yeah.
Montgomery 7.5. That's value.
Also, Sepp Straka Sepp Straka gained like a ton tee to green last week at the Players, so watch out for him as well. Putnam killed his irons. Good take, Kyle. I agree. I'm in on Putnam for sure.
Putnam, good price.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting now that like the 7K range is really small? So, you know, there were days where in a full field event, like the 7K range had like 50 guys in it, and now there's like 18.
Yeah.
15 to 18.
You can thank the 5K range.
Interesting. So anyway, I mean, once we get a little bit farther down, it's a lot of Glover and Ryder for me. Although I think Ryder will be pretty popular. And then you got guys like Berger and Shank that I think are going to get a lot of ownership as well. And for good reason, right? Like Berger in this field, just from a talent perspective, that feels pretty short on him.
He's one of the better players in the field. Yes. And at some point he's got to make, strides here like Willie Z and make a comeback. I like the price. I like Sam Ryder. Sam Ryder is a bad price at 7.3. Well, a good price for us, bad price. I don't think Sam Ryder deserves to be, 2,000 less than Tony Finau right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't have Tony Finau, Sam Ryder wouldn't have been the direction I went, but like, okay,
here's what I did. Okay, honesty hour. I'm going
to Sam Ryder, Aaron Rye.
There should not be
a 1,200 gap.
Listen to me. I'll peek behind the curtain here. I said 2K because it's live, and I say a number, and then I scrolled up and I said, "Okay, Wiley, you're live. You've got to have someone at 9.3," and it was fucking Tony Finau. I said, "Well, I'll have to sell this."
Yeah.
So there's the comp. Just like yesterday when I said about the booger eaters who would not play Scottie Scheffler because they'd rather play, I don't know, what is it, Bo Hostler or something like that.
Yeah,
it's funny. Everyone needs to relax.
Okay, and then as we get a little bit lower, I just want to give shouts to Kyle favorite. He's at Sune flat 7K. That feels a touch low to me. Davis
what were
Thompson,
the words you just used there?
Hisatsune.
Oh, you said Kyle favorite Hisatsune.
Yeah, because Kyle loves Hisatsune.
Okay,
yeah,
I got
you. And I love Davis Thompson, so I'll be playing Davis Thompson. Jimmy Stangs feels like a guy that people are talking about. Don't know how familiar I am with his name, but feels like a guy people are excited about. Joel Damon playing better golf. Interesting. And Mackenzie
Andrew
Hughes.
Novak flop leg.
Sure. And then Mackenzie Hughes. I like Mackenzie Hughes at 6.7. A great deal this week.
How do you put Webb Simpson at 6.7? I mean, what are
too high or too low?
Too high. You should be 5K.
Oh, so you're out. Like you're out on Webb.
6-foot putt. He's the worst on par 5 scoring, I think, this year overall. He missed a 6-foot putt on a par 5 to make the cut, like Lucas Glover. I'm in.
Yeah. Jimmy. Yeah. Gary Woodland. Time to go back. Wow.
Ben Silverman.
Reese just got balls though. He plays to win. He won 20K like 2 weeks ago at the API. So I'm always interested in Woodland. Is there anyone else we want to talk about as we get lower?
No, I mean T-Dunk. You could maybe think about that. Zach Blair has had good course history here. He didn't play badly last week. No way in Molinari. No way.
I like Joel Logan King, by the way, in the chat. There are a lot of guys I like down here. Like Ryan Moore, 6.2. I think we should have
more.
Yep. I think it's conversation worthy. My model was so like sick. I agree with you. Absolutely. 100% Stewie. I need to like go back into the lab this afternoon because I had like Zach Johnson popping for me, like just some really odd, conspicuous things, provocative avant-garde stuff going down for me from a numbers perspective. At the
Augusta wedge players, spin players, putters.
I probably need to check up on. So,
you got to roll here in 3 minutes because we killed 19 minutes of the first part, right?
We did, yeah. meeting my mom at the gym to get a little midday workout before I have like 4 more podcasts to do today, unfortunately.
To keep her up to date as to the job that you're supposed to do, right? It's a syndicate family.
And then the situation going on in my bathroom regarding a kilo of drugs and a chainsaw.
Andy, how did it go this afternoon in the hotel room? Does anyone know?
So okay, give me winner. Who's like your guy this week? I haven't heard.
Well, I said in my notes, if you look through them on Twitter, buried deep, I've had Scheffler back to back. I know it's short priced. I know it's chalky.
Really going out on a limb there, but
we're 2 for 2. Okay, 2 fine. 2. I should have picked Batia because that was the sharper play last week. That's it. There you go, golf world.
All the leverage was on Batia.
Everyone's just great job, Matt. He finished last, but it was sharp. So I said it was fantastic Sam's this week.
Okay.
Like a Burns rider. I mean, a rider had an incredible round for a lot of people. Tony, one of them, that really put him up the leaderboard. I think Sam's will find something this week, and I think Ryder is too good of a price to ignore. What has he done wrong? This Florida swing, he's been great. Could have won last week almost. Had a triple bogey, took him out of it a little bit, but he was ascending big time.
Okay.
What about you?
I like that. I do like Justin. I'm gonna say that. Oh God, this is so tough. I'm gonna go. No. I'm gonna say that. I mean, I'm gonna go with the only guy that I have bet thus far. Which shout out to Kyle. He just bet it for me this morning before I woke up because he knew that number was going to crash. And I posted it in the RPS Discord as soon as it was made. So I think a couple people hopped on, but I don't think you need to like try and outsmart everybody. Like Doug Gim's playing incredible golf right now. He was 80 to 1. Yep. I think he's still available at like 55, 70 from tee to green right now. He's a top 5 player in this field. Is it possible that he falls off a cliff this week? Absolutely. But it's like sometimes when something's right in front of you, I think Doug Gim, by my numbers, is like very highly likely to win this tournament. And at 80 to 1, that's a slam.
Yeah, and don't sweat ownership because if it's a good play, it's a good play. If he finishes top 3, you're great.
And in this field, particularly in this field, you're going to have so many opportunities to get weird. Like even if you just have the balls to like pivot from Burns to Spieth, right?
Yeah.
Like
there's no Scheffler this week. You have 5 guys who are going to be reasonably owned, I think, in the same range. So,
yeah. Okay. I gotta fly. Gotta hustle. It's a precarious situation going on in my bathroom that I need to
talk
attend
to your mom.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, Stewie. Love Stewie. Stewie's the man. All right. We'll be back.
That's all we got.
Peace.